Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
This is like a TV commercial. You're looking at the cheese dripping. And good morning. It is Car Con Carne. I'm James Van Alstyne. A special early morning Car Con Carne. I'll explain why in mere minutes. Car Con Carne is sponsored by our friends at Siren Records in McHenry. Coming up on this very show, in fact, later this week, Quiet Pterodactyl returns. They're the team responsible for Situation Chicago, that benefit record to help civil and Chicago area venues with Chicago musicians. They're doing a round two. There's a Situation Chicago Volume 2 on the way, and we'll preview that on Car Con Carne later this week. This weekend, Car Con Carne hits the road going downstate to Springfield, Illinois, bucolic Springfield, to visit the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library. The State of Sound, a World of Music in Illinois, is a museum exhibit set up in the Lincoln Library, dedicated to the sounds of Illinois, from gospel, soul, and blues all the way through punk rock. I'll be broadcasting from the museum this weekend. Then next week, Lucky Boys Confusion, old friends of the show, Lucky Boys Confusion, return to the show to talk about the 20th anniversary of their major label debut, Throwing the Game, which came out 20 years ago this month. Also, Car Con Carne returns to the car next week after 14 months of pandemic fun. Back in the car next week with the band Letdown. It's a band you should know. It's a band that is currently based in Chicago and a band that is blowing up all over social media, and for good reason. So we're very early. Normally we record at night, but you make accommodations when your friends from Austria join you from overseas. Mike from DEE CRACKS is with us. Good afternoon, Mike.
Hello, James. How are you doing?
Are you still banned in the USA?
Yes, we are. That's still on. That ban is still on. Yeah.
And that's over a decade, right?
Yeah. Well, that happened in 2013 in June or July, I think it was. Yeah. So yeah, we're still banned, but I have another appointment for the embassy soon, so I'll go check to see if there's any possibilities opening up for us to make our way back. And there actually should be, we could still get an artist visa, like a proper artist visa to go tour, but so no punk shows.
So you're to tell the story. I mean, you were cut off at the border, the Canadian-U.S. border, back in 2013 because of visa issues.
Yeah. Well, this was what would have been our fourth U.S. tour, and it was the first time we actually drove up to Canada for a few shows. So what we were doing, we flew into Chicago actually, and we practiced up in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, because our bass player Eric is from Sheboygan. So
that explains a lot. I had questions about that T-shirt. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So we were up there in Sheboygan practicing, and then we had a show in Michigan on the way up to Canada. So we actually played the first show, and we flew into Chicago as tourists. Got in as tourists, snuck in. And then but then we left the country to do the Canada shows. It was only 3, and then on the New York State border, which is where we tried to come back in the car, we got stopped and did all the searches for us, and after 3 or 4 hours they found out that we were a band and we're actually here to tour and not tourists and just visiting the country, which is what we said coming in. We were separated in 2 vans. We were on tour with a band called Direct Hit and Jetty Boys they're both Wisconsin bands actually, or I mean Direct Hit is kind of a Chicago band too now, I think, right? Aren't they in between there? Anyway, but so we split into 2 vans and had all the gear with the Americans to go over, and so it was just the luggage with us, so it didn't look like we're like a band, but we still look like a band. We got the tattoos and the funny jokes, and
the funny jokes, which bands are known for, except Radiohead. I don't think they're known for funny jokes.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
No. So you're in Austria. I mean, here in the U.S., and we can be very insular about the way we perceive music and just our knowledge of scenes across the world. When I think of that corner of the world, when I think about Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, that section, is there a punk rock scene? Is there a DIY community?
Yeah, there is. I mean, it's a very intimate scene, but at least there is one. So yeah, there's a couple of cool bands around from Austria. The Mugwums or 7 Years Bad Luck or something like that, and so there's always been bands. It was a little more active like 20 years ago, I think. But I mean, we're still around.
You're
And,
definitely still around.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, everything was dead for a year now.
Yeah,
I wonder
right.
why.
Yeah,
But,
curious.
Yeah.
So the new album is Serious Issues,
Yep.
which is not only available far. There you go. That's handsome looking vinyl right there.
Yeah. Oh, I thought we were talking about me.
That's right. Handsome looking artist, handsome looking vinyl. Not only is it available on vinyl, not only can we listen to it digitally, it's available on cassette. Did you ever, Mike, imagine that cassettes would swing back around in 2021?
No, actually not. But I think that wasn't this like a hipster thing to do like 10 years ago or something like that?
I think it was, but I mean, as it's been explained to me by various musicians, it's a really economical way to put music out there, to have product out there, because pressing vinyl is expensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
and you have to wait a long time for it to be pressed and everything. The waiting times are crazy these days, and with cassettes, everything goes fast.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to have something, a hard copy, something tangible for people to walk away with, especially as touring is opening back up again, something to sell. I mean, cassettes make a lot of sense. If nothing else, they look cool.
Yeah, I actually we this is the second cassette we're actually releasing now, because for our 2014 record Beyond Medication, we also had cassettes made because the artwork was very, very like 80s, like a vibe, and so we went for cassettes there also, but I actually never listened to it because I don't actually own anything to listen cassettes on.
I just recently bought a CD player and a cassette deck, things I hadn't had for 15, 20 years, just to do that. I'm like, I wouldn't mind playing some physical media. It's been a while, and now it's become a little bit of an obsession.
I like it. I mean, cassettes are fun, but it's kind of crazy, like when you're like in the studio, recording, and you want everything to like sound this certain way, and like you really go for like a sound, and then put it on a cassette so you can hear the tape all over it. That's kind of a funny process.
So as far as the new album goes, as far as Serious Issue goes, the video for Don't Throw It Away, is that still delayed? Is that coming soon?
Yeah, it's coming this Friday actually. So we had to delay it because it's so good.
Obviously.
But that's actually what happened, because we were about to like release it, and then Pirates Press Records, our like main record label, was like, hey, maybe we should give this like a proper treatment and like build it up a little more, and have some website premiere it or something like that. And that's what they were going for now, and that's why we actually pushed it a week. It was all ready and perfect, but that's actually what happened. So they liked it so much, they wanted a better treatment for it.
You know what this is, Mike? This is just delayed gratification.
Yeah,
that's all it is. But I know you do enjoy doing videos. There's the sock puppet video for We Can't Help It.
Yeah.
That came out a couple months ago. I mean, it's the most low budget, lo-fi concept ever, but it's totally effective. I think bands far and wide should learn from this example.
Yeah, well, this is we had to think of ways to do music videos, or actually we wanted to do more music videos and do like more promotion stuff, since we can't go on the road and tour,
right?
First of all. And then our bass player lives in Innsbruck, Austria, which is like a 6 hours drive away or so from Vienna. So me and Matthias are in Vienna, and Paul lives in Innsbruck. So we were like, how are we gonna? We can't really, meet and do things all the time, because we can't travel thanks to the global pandemic. So, that's why we actually thought of like doing animated videos or whatever, or like, let's have sock puppets. Everybody can be a sock. Everybody can be Paul. So
it's the great equalizer.
Yeah.
The barrier for entry is really low for sock puppet videos. The video for Killer Cure, this is a weird like 70s hospital porn thing going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's allowed these days to do like a video like that anymore. But this was a friend of ours from Austria, Rocco, who plays in a band called Go Go Gorillo from Vienna, and like he just asked us to like if he could do a lyric video, and or actually we asked him to, or we were talking about it, and then he was like, yeah, I'm up for it, and then he did it. Yeah.
I love it. You have a couple instrumentals on this album. It opens
Mhm.
with Desert Storm Surf, which seems like the kind of thing you'd want to open a live show with. Not
Yeah,
just the album, but it seems like the kind of thing you'd want to kick off a show with.
that's true, but we never play the surf songs live. We actually have a surf song on every record, or at least the last 3 records we had surf songs on. Like the Beyond Medication was also had like an intro for like a surf intro, and we had this song called the Mexican Standoff on Sonic Delusions, the record before Serious Issues. And now we have 2 here, like opening up each side, because we want both sides to be like sort of an A side,
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to like have a good,
I
like
love it.
have both be equal, Yeah, it's great. We really enjoy working on these songs, but for live, it kind of kills our intensity.
Yeah, I get that.
When we start with it, we're like cold, because we don't warm up or anything, we warm up
Let's
at the bar.
Yeah, warming up's not punk rock.
Hey, we never warm up. I mean, yeah.
You plug in and go. Well,
Yeah.
the other instrumental, the ambient shake, I think is fantastic too.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
And
I mean,
it's one of-
all the credit goes to Matthias here because he writes all the songs and he comes up with all these like, crazy songs.
and that's one of the longest songs on the album, which
Yeah, I know.
for D CRACKS, I mean you're pushing 3 minutes on that one.
Yeah, we're
It's
always,
like a
we're
Yes
always
song.
lazy. We're always lazy with the lyrics, So we were like, hey, let's have like fast songs with lyrics, and
It's
without
just
lyrics we can go forever.
I kid about the length of the ambient shake because the songs are all like a minute and a half long.
Yeah.
I love this, and I mean you said the right word, intensity. I mean this is a ripping 30-40 minutes of punk rock. I mean I love Lost in the Middle. I love the last song on the album. I think it's one of the best. Don't Turn Your Heart Off.
Thank
It's
you. Yeah.
it's like a hidden treasure if you make it all the way to the end.
Yeah, well, I hope everybody. I mean, it doesn't take long to get all the way to the end, so
Exactly.
I hope everybody has the time for it. It's just under 30 minutes the whole record, and it's 16 songs. But that's not how a punk rock record should work, right? I mean,
It's Showbiz 101. Leave them wanting more.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
it. I also love The Window, which is, I mean, that song's barely over a minute long. Big bass line on that. Just a cool sounding album. Serious
Yeah.
Issues.
Thank you. Thank you.
Which again, you can stream everywhere and you can own it on cassette. You can put it right next to the other cassettes you have. I don't know. D CRACKS has definitely been waving the Ramones flag from the beginning. Just
Yeah.
that intense, no BS, plug in and go sound. What is it about that style of music? What is it about what the Ramones created that makes it still resonant and impactful in 2021?
I think I don't know. For us, it's the energy, the we don't give a fuck about anything else attitude, and just about like pure rock and roll, really. So for us, that's it's more of a way of life too,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't really know how to put it, but
I think
it's
you
always,
just did.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's the way I would put it, So
Success. All
Yeah.
right. So, Mike, again, the new album is Serious Issues. It's 30 minutes of just punk rock fury, and it's available to stream everywhere. We can get it on cassette on the fantastic Sexy Baby Records label. Pirates Press put out the other forms of the release. I love it, and I hope that these visa issues are resolved, and that as the world opens up again, you guys can find your way back here after so many years away, because we'd love to see you in person.
Yeah, I would love to come back for sure. Otherwise everybody has to go to Mexico or Canada and see us there.
I'll tell you what, at this point, after being locked down for 14 months, we'll go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, just point us in the right direction. I mean, I had to go downstate to Rockford, Illinois, which is about 90 minutes out of Chicago.
Mm.
and it was the most exciting thing I've done in a long time.
Yeah, yeah. I just traveled to Italy last weekend because I'm working in the music industry in Austria, and I was part of a music video shoot for one of my clients. So we actually went to the beach in Italy to do the video shoot. I was so excited, and we could actually sit on the beach and have a pizza there. You know, like restaurants were open. Because our lockdown here in Austria actually stops today at midnight.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. You're free. Go
Yeah.
do what you need to do. All right, Mike, stay right there. Again, DEE CRACKS, Serious Issues is the new one. Thank you for watching and listening. But again, Mike, stay right where you are.
I will.